Welcome back to Heal and Grow channel. This series is called Family Emotions, a gentle invitation to pause, reflect, and remember the little things that often go unnoticed. We're not here to talk about perfect families or flawless moments. We're here for the quiet nights, the broken chairs, the silent apologies, and the things our parents never said, but showed us anyway. Each story is short, faceless, but deeply real. Maybe it'll remind you of your mom's tired hands, or the way your dad always waited in the car a little longer. These aren't just stories, they're pieces of memory. Maybe yours. So take a breath, find a quiet moment, and let's grow together by remembering what love can sound like when it says nothing, but does everything. He fixed everything silently. When I was a kid, I thought magic was loud, like fireworks or birthday songs. But growing up, I learned real magic was quiet, like my dad. I'd break something, spill juice on the carpet, knock over a chair, lose a screw from a toy, and go to bed, dreading the consequences. But the next morning, the stain would be gone, the chair back in place, the toy somehow whole again. He never said a word about it, never asked for thanks, he just fixed things. Only when I moved out did I realize how much he fixed without us ever noticing. A leaking pipe, a broken doorknob, the heater in winter, the car brakes. Things I never thought twice about. There was a night last year during a storm when my roof started leaking. I didn't panic. I instinctively reached for my phone to call him, then remembered he was gone. I sat there in silence, watching the drip from the ceiling, realizing how much of him I'd taken for granted. He fixed things, yes, but more than that, he held things together. Mom always knew, even when I lied. I was 15 the first time I lied to my mom, told her I was at the library. I was actually at a friend's house, binge watching movies and eating junk food. When I came home, she looked at me, not with anger, but with this soft, knowing smile. She didn't say anything. I thought I'd gotten away with it. Then, the next day, she packed me extra snacks. In case you get hungry, wherever you're going, she said. She always knew. When I said I wasn't hurt by someone's words, she hugged me longer that night. When I said I wasn't tired, she made me tea. When I said I was fine, she placed a hand on my back, the way only mothers do when they know you're holding something inside. She knew because moms feel everything. Not because they spy, but because they love deeply. Looking back, I realize I never really fooled her. I just learned how much love can speak, even when nothing is said. They ate after we were full. I used to think my parents weren't that hungry, that they just weren't into the food. Every family meal they'd insist, you eat first. They'd smile while watching us devour the dishes. Only when we pushed our plates aside, full and happy, would they start eating. As a kid, I never questioned it. I just thought it was normal. Then I grew up. I started noticing how they'd skip meals when things were tight. How they'd say, "We already ate," when clearly they hadn't. How they'd divide a piece of chicken between them after serving us the best cuts. Love in our house looked like sacrifice. Not loud declarations, not showy gifts, but food on the table, us being full, and them being okay with the leftovers. It breaks my heart now, remembering how casually I accepted it, how blind I was to the quiet hunger they swallowed, just so we never had to feel it. Dad's silence wasn't distance. Growing up, I wished my dad talked more. He wasn't cold, just quiet. Rarely said I love you, never gave long lectures or emotional speeches. Instead, he showed up. Every game, every exam day, every doctor's visit. Always 5 steps behind, quietly watching, always ready. At the time, I thought his silence meant he wasn't interested. that maybe he didn't care as much as Mom did. But the truth was, he just expressed love differently. When I failed a test and couldn't face anyone, he took me for ice cream and didn't ask a single question. When my heart got broken, he handed me his old CD player and said, "This helped me once." No big speeches, just presence. His silence wasn't distance, it was depth. A kind of love that didn't need words to be felt. Why did they argue in silence? I used to hear them argue, but not like shouting matches. They'd sit in the kitchen late at night, voices low. Sometimes it was just silence, tense, heavy. I remember watching through the crack of the door, her hand twisting a napkin, his eyes looking away. No one raised a voice, no one stormed off. They argued in whispers, in sighs, in silence. As a child, I feared those moments more than loud fights, because they felt like something fragile could break. But years later, I asked my mom, "Why did you and Dad never shout?" She smiled. "Because we promised not to hurt each other with our words, even when we disagreed." Their silence wasn't cold, it was careful. It was love trying not to tear something sacred apart. She waited up every time. Curfews were more of a suggestion in our house, but what never changed? Mom waiting up. No matter what time I came home, 10 p.m. or 2 a.m., the hallway light would be on. I'd find her on the couch, pretending to read, sometimes half asleep, but always there. "I couldn't sleep," she'd say. "Just wanted to make sure you got home safe." I used to roll my eyes. "I'm fine," I'd say. "You didn't have to wait." But she did, every time. Years later, when I moved away, she'd text me, "Let me know when you get home." Still waiting. That kind of love doesn't clock out. It lingers, listens, waits. And now, whenever I stay up late worried about someone I love, I think of her, and how love waits up. Sometimes, love doesn't come with big words. It doesn't always arrive with flowers or fancy dinners. Sometimes it's in the quiet hands that fix what we break, in the knowing eyes that catch our lies but choose to stay kind, in the half-empty plates and tired backs. It's in the silence that isn't cold, but full of emotion too deep for words, in the waiting, in the giving, and in the things they never asked us to notice, but we remember now. If any of these stories reminded you of someone you've been meaning to thank, don't wait. Send them this video. Tell them they mattered. Drop a comment below. Which story touched your heart most? Subscribe for more real, faceless stories that speak louder than words, because family isn't perfect. But the love, it's always there. Sometimes, just hidden in the quiet. Sometimes, love doesn't come with big words. It doesn't always arrive with flowers or fancy dinners. Sometimes it's in the quiet hands that fix what we break, in the knowing eyes that catch our lies but choose to stay kind, in the half-empty plates and tired backs. It's in the silence that isn't cold, but full of emotion too deep for words, in the waiting, in the giving, and in the things they never asked us to notice, but we remember now. If any of these stories reminded you of someone you've been meaning to thank, don't wait. Send them this video. Tell them they mattered. Drop a comment below. Which story touched your heart most? Subscribe for more real, faceless stories that speak louder than words, because family isn't perfect. But the love, it's always there. Sometimes, just hidden in the quiet.